Hello, guys. Welcome, everybody. It is Purple Haze Podcast, guys. I am your host, Isaac. Before we get into the video, make sure if you guys are diehard Vikings fan, or if you're a fan of any other team, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. So, training camp is basically a day tomorrow. It's on Tuesday, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give you my opinion on basically the position battles. Basically, I'm not going to list, maybe I can try to get all of them in there, but we'll see how it goes. So let's get into it. Starting with QBs, obviously we know who the starter is. That's Kirk Cousins as the starter, of course, coming off the best year. And then the other ones are Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall, which Nick Mullins, who we picked up after the aftermath of the Raiders game preseason last year, so we picked him up. Amazing, better than Sean Mannion and Kellen Mond, but in my opinion, I don't know who's going to win this battle. Jaron Hall, Nick Mullins. It's going to be. I am so hyped though for Jaron Hall, though. I think he might be a bust. He might be. I'm so excited for him to see what he does in the preseason. But right now, it's either or. Jaron Hall is just as bad as Kellen Mond and Sean Mannion. He's probably just as bad, maybe. But if that's the case, then Nick Mullins is your backup by default. Your QB too, anyways. But if Jaron Hall is better than Nick Mullins, put him there. I am rooting for Jaron Hall so much, man. I can't wait. As for the wide receivers, we got starters Justin Jefferson, obviously. And then we got KJ Osborne as one of the starters as well. Justin Jefferson, best receiver. Why is there any debate about it? KJ Osborne absolutely had a great spark. He's good. He could be a formidable starter. And then the others, we got Jordan Addison, Lucky Johnson, Tristan Jackson, Cephas Johnson III, Malik Knowles, Garrett Magg, Jalen Naylor, Brandon Powell, Blake Prohl, Jalen Rieger, and Thayer Thomas. So basically for like the two starters, I'm excited for Jordan Addison. I cannot wait to see him. I've heard a lot of good things about him, and I wanted to draft a receiver, and thank God we got one. Anyways, so I'm excited to see what Jordan Addison can do on the field. I think he should be one of the starters. You can basically, I would put also Jalen Naylor as like another one of the starters too as well, over Jalen Rieger. Jalen Rieger, I trust Naylor over Rieger. It's just Rieger had so many issues last year, and sure he had some good plays, but that doesn't cover up the issues that he had last season. So, and Jalen Naylor, he looks really good. I absolutely in love with him. He had one start basically against the Bears in Week 18 of the season. He looks amazing. So I would put Jalen Naylor. I'm rooting for him. As for like the rest of the receiving core, maybe you can put in Tristan Jackson. He looks fine to me. Really not really much of these players that I really know. And also departure of Adam Thielen, of course, we know, who went to Carolina. So, yep, that's that. And then tight ends, of course, we got the starter TJ Hawkinson, who was an absolute steal from the Detroit Lions. Thank you. Anyways, who first started in Week 9 against the Washington Commanders, already looks good. And then our other starter, Johnny Munt, who we signed off of the Rams, he's really solid too as well. And then also the rest, we got Nick Muse, Josh Oliver, and Ben Sims. I mean, you can definitely use Josh Oliver as maybe one of the starters to flex the third tight end. I don't know if you can do that, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, Josh Oliver, I'm actually not, even though people anticipate this as eh, like we already have enough tight ends. I'm not mad about this. This is fine. I mean, he's a great blocker, and whatever catches you get, it's a bonus. So, I mean, to use extra beef in the running game, I'm all for it. So basically, he could probably rotate in for Johnny Munt from here and there if we get him on the starting roster, but who's to say? And then running backs, of course, we got a starter fullback, CJ Ham, and probably Alexander Madison. It doesn't say that he's the outright starter. We also have Ty Chandler, Alexander Madison, Dwayne McBride, Kene Wangu, Zach Ojili, the fullback. So, anyways, I'm okay. I'm absolutely okay with this running back core. Alexander Madison to be the starter, I trust him. And from the departure of Dalvin Cook, I'm pretty sure he's going to have a very big role. So I'm excited for Alexander Madison. Anyways, who could be the second? Either Ty Chandler, Kene Wangu, who's already a punt returner. They are explosive. But the main guy I want is Ty Chandler. I absolutely seen him in the preseason. He looks phenomenal. So I cannot wait to see him just it's just the explosiveness that he has out there compared to like Madison, who is like old school, burrows his shoulder, find holes, and then he's good. I want to see what Ty Chandler's all about more. And then the offensive line. For starters, we got Christian Darrisaw, Ezra Cleveland, Garrett Bradbury, Ed Ingram, and Brian O'Neill. And then we also, for like the bench, we got Alan Alley, Blake Brandel, Jackie Chen, Vidarian Lowe, Chris Reed, Josh Cole, Oli Udo, Austin Schlottman, and Sam Schluter. Our offensive line, okay, it was not god awful, but it still was spotty. It was still really spotty, especially with Ed Ingram, who's probably the weakest link of that offensive line. It's his rookie, so I'm going to give him that, but can he bounce back? Maybe. And also, in this interesting stat, Cousins got sacked 46 times, which is a career high. There definitely needs to be a lot of help and a lot of managing on the offensive line. I mean, we already know Garrett Bradbury, he's okay. He's not great at all. And Ezra Cleveland, he's iffy. Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill probably being the best offensive linemen. But as far as I really don't know much about them. I mean, the starters, they are iffy, but Ed Ingram, you're probably going to have to maybe bench him. I mean, Chris Reed, maybe Austin Schlottman. I mean, I would put those in for Ed Ingram if he's not good at all. And then for basically moving to defense, the defensive linemen, starters are Harrison Phillips, for some reason Jonathan Bullard, James Lynch, and Kai Iris Tonga. And then for the bench, we got Junior Aho, Calvin Avery, Sheldon Day, Dean Lowry, who we picked up against the Packers, Jacqueline Roy, TJ Smith. And the departure was Dalvin Tomlinson, which it's more than solid. I think of course, Harrison Phillips, he's probably the best. James Lynch had an okay, but I don't know. Here's what I don't know. Why they didn't play Kai Iris Tonga a little bit more. I was all for him. He looked really good, I thought. But maybe as far as maybe Dean Lowry's concerned and Jonathan Bullard's okay. I mean, I'm still a little iffy on him. Maybe put him in for Dean Lowry maybe as the starter. That's what I would do. So there's that. And as the defensive end, we got DJ Wonnum and Daniil Hunter for our starters. So, I mean, not sure what the Daniil Hunter. Maybe they're not going to trade him. I don't know. And then let's see. We got. Oh, I forgot to write down him in notes. Great. Anyway, so basically the defensive end position, I would basically like to see more of Patrick Jones the second. That's the guy I want to see more of. Patrick Jones was amazing last week against the Dolphins and the Cardinals. Last week he was outstanding. So basically the defensive end, it's really solid. I think it should do good. And then linebackers, for starters, we got Jordan Hicks, who's signed back, and then we got Brian Asamoah the second, Abraham Buplan, Troy Dye, Wilson Hoover, William Wenku, Ivan Pace Jr., and Troy Dye. I mean, these are more than enough solid linebackers. Brian Asamoah, who I think is going to be the starter opposite of Hicks. So that'll be something. I'm excited. I mean, I like Asamoah. He is very fast. And I think he's had one defensive F. If I remember, he forced a fumble on Daniel Jones on one play in week 16. Absolutely amazing. I like Brian Asamoah. And also, Ivan Pace Jr., who was an undrafted free agent, but I heard a lot of good out of him. So, I mean, maybe rotate him for Brian Asamoah and Ivan Pace Jr. from time to time. Who knows? And then the departure of Eric Kendricks, which, another one. Yep. And then now for the secondary, for starters, we got Andrew Booth Jr. and Caleb Evans. Which, I mean, we haven't seen enough of these two, so maybe once they get more snaps, maybe they'll do better under Brian Flores. We'll see. And then we got Kellen Barnes, Mekhi Blackman, CJ Colden, Tay Gowan, Byron Murphy, Najee Thompson, Jalen Williams, and Joanne Williams. So I would say that it's more maybe enough. You could definitely, basically Byron Murphy, he's probably one of the best secondaries in the Cardinals lineup. So I'm not worried I'm definitely sure Byron Murphy will definitely make it. Mekhi Blackman can definitely contest for it. I feel like he can absolutely do so. Maybe for Andrew Booth Jr., which, I mean, he had a start against the Cowboys. He looked absolutely rough at all. He looked rough. So maybe Andrew Booth Jr. might have a bounce back as well. And Caleb Evans had a couple of up and down games. I'm pretty sure they'll improve as well. And then the departures of Patrick Peterson, Chandon Sullivan, and Cam Dantzler. So, I mean, I feel like that should be good enough, maybe. Who knows? And then we got, for cornerbacks, of course, we got Harrison Smith, who's returning. We got Josh Metellus. I mean, and then Lewis Cine. I mean, so that's not bad. I mean, I actually like the cornerbacks. I mean, the cornerbacks, they're pretty good. The secondaries, I mean, Harrison Smith, I mean, he's a veteran. Who's to say else? And then, but Josh Metellus, I mean, I was thinking maybe that the Vikings should have started Lewis Cine over Josh Metellus, but Josh Metellus has been actually really good. I mean, he's absolutely made a couple good plays on special teams and on defense. He's got a captain patch. Good for him. I am absolutely rooting for Josh Metellus. I absolutely like this dude. And I also want to see what Lewis Cine is all about, too, as well. Maybe rotate him from maybe Harrison Smith or maybe Josh Metellus from game to game, maybe. I want to see more of Lewis Cine. I mean, it absolutely sucked that he was injured against the New Orleans Saints. So, I mean, I am excited for this. So, not really much really to take away from this. I mean, we all know who the starting kicker and the starting punter is. Ryan Wright, punt god. And then three-leg Greg, I mean, he's been clutch. He's been good. So, anyways, those are my thoughts on the training camp. The training camp report will come tomorrow, but I'll do a video about that Wednesday probably. So I think that'll be it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this. Make sure if you guys haven't, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. Probably see you Wednesday. Bye.